Good morning, is it from Zesters Lab? Well, my latest project, an open spine DIY journal. Oh my goodness, isn't this just the most beautiful thing ever? I am absolutely in love with it. I haven't worked in it yet. I've just finished it. I made the little insides. I made the cover. And oh, now it's done. And what I absolutely love about this is the feel. It is a beautiful feel in my hands. So I actually want to make another one with just ordinary paper inside, where I can just use it as a journal. I can add things also, but it's more a journal to write in, because that is how beautiful this feels, and it's just the right size for a little journal that I can throw in my bag and just write whenever I feel like writing something. But you know me, I don't know how this is going to turn out. But how did I get to creating this? So once again, I am learning to go with the flow. Follow my excitement. What makes me excited, I go there and I create as the life in me leads. I mean, I get excited about something and I think, oh, I want to try that. So I go that route. So I need to show you how I did this, because I've already got plans for new things. But when I start with my new things, I cannot come back to stuff. I don't know why, but it's as what's in the past is in the past. So that's why it's a Sunday morning. I told husband, I now need to quickly go and make this video because I've got other projects that I want to go to. So a couple of weeks ago, I was YouTubing and I found a video where the woman showed these open spine journals, and I absolutely fell in love with the idea of adding some beads onto a spine. I mean, it's just so beautiful. So he got some, she showed exactly how to do it, and what you needed was some cereal boxes or any type of box to create the outside of this book. Oh yes, and then another thing. My previous video, I showed you how to do these little scrolls. This is the one I started off showing you how I created my sewing machine scroll. So I kept going and I kept going and I kept going until it was kind of done, and then all of a sudden I got to a point where I thought, I don't want another scroll. I don't want this to be a scroll. I don't know, I had enough of scrolls, and that's when I remembered the idea of the little open spine journal. So I already had 2 of these. They were 2 beautiful little boxes that we got. Husband he bought something, I can't remember what. So I immediately came and I cut the box into the template of the outside of my book. So I thought about this and it just came together. I said, I want to make myself now an open spine journal, and the outside I want to use these things. Remember I told you, I've also seen how people created these and then they cut it and use it in their journals and all of that type of thing. And that is exactly what I did. So I came here, sat down, and this was my template. So how do you create the outside of a open spine journal? It cannot be any easier. So I found this box, bought a... Now the dogs are playing down under again. So well. So we bought this, I got this box, and I thought this is excellent to show you. One thing I must admit, it is a little bit big for me, because I either the papers that I use for my journals and what I usually have, my old books and things, are A4 size, you know. So when you fold them, you get an A5 size, I think this is. So I don't want to go bigger than this. Then I need to buy more papers and whatever. So this one, it can actually work. It can actually work because I also like my outside to be a little bit larger. So this one, I had to add some cloth and whatever to make it larger than my inside. So this box can actually work. And what I love about it is got a very, very wide spine. So this is gonna make a very wide, is that what you call it? Wide. It's gonna give me a beautiful wide spine. So I'll be able to add lots of papers in here. So for this size, I'll definitely use, it's going to be more like a gratitude journal. I'm going to add things to this and whatever. So what you first do, I'm going to keep, I am going to keep that piece. This one is going to be my spine. So I'm just opening up here. Oh. Usually I'm going to keep that and see what I can do. So you just cut off all this extra part. So I'm going to keep this one. So I am going to cut I later make it nicer. I don't want to bore you with this. I really just quickly want to show you how easy this is. So I usually use this as well. But it's kind of, I don't want to, oh, there I'm going. So the thicker the box actually, especially the spine area, I think the better. So there you can see my spine of my book. You can see it's becoming like a folder. We all know folders. So after I created that open spine one, you know how it works. Now you get ideas and you think, oh, I should have done it like that. Blah, blah, blah. So there's lots of ideas that formed. So now you'll see, there you can see the inside. So that part, I kept that part. So you can now see, this is the one that's done, ready to just, I can now put these things, glue them onto here and blah, blah, blah. But this is, I'm nearly there. So now you're going to decide how much of this part you would like to keep. So usually you definitely need a little, let's just decide. I'm gonna cut off 6 centimeters on both sides. I'm gonna link the video below to the woman's video that I watched. She's an absolute perfectionist and does it perfectly. So if you want to follow her and see how she does it, absolutely great idea. So this is 6 centimeters. You can see, so I cut that out. Now I fold this back. That's why I even kept that little piece. Fold that back, glue it down, because that is the piece that you really, really want to keep. Make as strong as possible. So my other side, I'm now also cutting 6 centimeters. Oops, a little skew. But the most awesome thing about this, I watched her video and I thought, ooh, it's a little bit perfectionistic to me. I don't think mine will work. But I'm gonna try. That's what I thought. And I really did it my way. Oh, this is actually very, very tight. So I can now decide if I want to glue that, all of that together. And then then you can cover this any way you like. It is just so wonderful. So you see how thick that is? I think that will be good enough. I actually with my little one here, I added another piece of hardboard thing and I covered it with a piece of cloth. So that is nice and thick. So there you have it. This is all you need. As I said, I can use, if I use A4 papers and some bigger papers, oh, this is gonna be gorgeous. So now the thing is, now you need to decide how are you gonna cover this. So because you need to cover this before you can put your signatures and your little pieces of paper, your little books, whatever, they call it signatures. I am now starting to talk like a bookmaker. Signatures. And so now this is how you get it like this. So that is quick. So here I am with my little one. And what I then did is I covered it with my pieces of slow stitching fabric. It was a little bit too small, so I just added more pieces. As you can see, added lots of pieces, more pieces there. I stitched. It was absolutely wonderful. I realized I can stitch through this. My machine stitched beautifully through all of these layers, plus the box. So that is how I then at the end, I just made it thicker and thicker and a little bit larger and larger until it was the right size. The awesome thing now, it's just the right size. I must admit I would have liked it a little bit larger. It's perfect as is, but if I needed to make it larger, it's very easy to just open it up and just glue and then just sew another piece on. So that is perfect. So I'm just going to show you my outside. It's my Momigami papers. It's other paper, music sheet. I had to put a beautiful leaf on, just a little heart. It's just very shabby chic. This is something, a pin that I got from a friend when she gave me all her mother's extra haberdashery things. I found that in, and I thought, you know what? I just love it. It is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to pin it there. There you can see another key. And then when that was done and I've finished with my outside, you can see I started to put my signatures in. So another thing that I'm just giving you my tips, what I've learned. After I've done this, I had to loosen it again because something really bothered me. You do your signatures. I've got 4 there because my beads are kind of thick, so I could not get another row in here. So this is perfect. So that meant 4 signatures, little books of paper. But when you open them and you look through the 2 signatures, you could see the back, the spine. And I didn't like that. Mine was just very ugly. It was just a piece of book page and you could see through it. It really bothered me to such an extent that I had to loosen my things and just took them all out, and then I just glued another piece of cloth the same as there. I glued in the spine. So now when you work through your journal, there you can see it's a little pocket. This is just ordinary pages that I've just put in white page to write on. My hand dyed papers, book pages, brown paper, whatever. So I've just, whatever I had to put in here, I've just made little bundles and I've just put them in here. So as I said, I absolutely love it now. I got a wonderful little book at the charity shop. It was a little photo album. So I used this as my signatures, the outside of my signatures. But because there's something hard in here and I didn't want to take these things out, so I just folded it there. That's why it actually, my book became thicker, bigger, more than the actual size of this, because I didn't think I'm going to use this at first. So you can see a little bit too big, but then I added more cloth, and so then I just stitch another pieces of either cloth or paper just to make that as large as this. So I used that as the outside. So let me quickly show you very, very quickly how to make the signatures. So once again, you get a template of that size, however you want your outside to be. If you really go for this, you will make your little papers just a hint smaller, just a little bit smaller than this. So I am just, as I said, I think this one that I'm going to make now, I really want to use more white, just more white paper, but I'm going to make it exactly the same size as my template because I want to, and my little scissor that I love. It just makes it a little bit more, once again, just eyeballing it. I'm just going to show you one little signature and how awesome this works. So if you use very thin rope like this, and you don't have to put beads in, you can put in whatever you like. I even saw someone put in some different sizes of buttons. Look beautiful. So whatever you're gonna do there, that's gonna tell you how much signatures you need. So if you have beautiful rope and only want the rope to shine through, you can have many ropes. That means many signatures. That depends solely on what you want to do. I found this. I love this. It's something that I also bought at the charity shop. I don't know what it is and what you use it for, if it's actually supposed to crochet with it, or I don't know what. This is the blue one that I bought my previous charity shop haul. So this is what it is. I don't know, but I've got the yellow. I loved it and I thought, ooh, I want to use that. I love it so much. I want to use that. If I didn't have that, I wanted to go for a piece of cloth that I just store. You know, my cottons, just tear a piece off about that size, like that, and you just use that. So you can see inside my signatures, the middle of my signature, if I can find it now, there. That's the middle of my signature. There is it. So how do you get, let's say for interesting sake, okay, I'm going to take more white, ordinary white typo paper, because that's what I want to use. Usually for my journals and things, I absolutely love the tea-dyed effect, but I don't have any tea-dyed paper at this stage. So I'm just gonna go for this. So I am using my first one that I cut as my template, and I'm just making more. Using this pair of scissors now because the other one doesn't want to work through the thick. I love the shabby chic idea, so I really don't care what I am, that if it's not perfect. I'm just going to leave it like that because I'm going to add, usually for my signatures inside, I use a thick, oops, I look through my books. This is a very old book from South Africa, Ons Suid-Afrikaanse Plantegroei, our South African flora. So it's a very old book, but look at this beautiful page. Beautiful in the front. That was the front page. So I will then, and this is actually the perfect size. I'm going to use this one. Okay, I must admit, when I create my books not on video, I do it a little bit more perfectly, but I don't want to waste your time, so I just fold it in half. Oh, I love this. I absolutely love this. Look how beautiful. You see, that's how everything comes together. So once again, You decide how many you want. You know, it's also, you just keep going and then you see, okay, so it's also not that you don't need to know all these things when you start. It's like life. You just keep going and it will all come together at a stage. So what I've also realized, so with this method, you now have your little signature, but you can now see there, it's smaller. This piece is smaller. So what the woman did, she decided, okay, she measured. Where's my template now? Where's my other? Okie dokie. Oh, here it is. So you're going to measure that size. You see? So I took a little bit piece of paper and I just cut it roughly that size. So that is the size of my So I just looked at it like this and I saw, okay, that is where it needs to be closed, and the rest, these pieces, I need to cut open. So once again, you make sure all your things are correct. I did not do my whole signature together. You actually cut one or two little pages at a time, but as I said, I'm now busy, I'm now on a roll, so I just cut it there. This little signature is definitely not thick enough for me, so I will add more papers. So now I see, okay, I've really, so I just make sure that it's nice, straight there. Oopsie. Once again, mine is not perfect, and look at it. It really doesn't matter. It came out absolutely gorgeous. So now you take whatever piece of string or thing you want to use. I am really not sure what I'm gonna use, but I just want to show you how beautiful it looks when you tear a piece of cotton. You tear off a piece of cotton. Oh, there goes my little template that I need. Now I don't have my, okay, that doesn't matter. So this is it. I just fold this around my signature. You will then decide what length these things are gonna be. And now look at this. Voila. There is my first signature. Easier it cannot be. And as I said, if I can, then you can. But first you need to cover your outside. Because I mean, you cannot add these before you've covered this. So the first thing is you cut it, you decided the size, you fold it, you make it nice and thick. Then I love to use, as I said, a piece of hand stitched or hand sewed laslappie, just little pieces of cloths together. You cover it. I use ordinary glue, and then I just stitched it. You don't have to stitch it. I just went for the stitching way because mine wasn't large enough to start with. Mine was like this, exactly the same. So when I added this, I saw, a little bit small. So I added more, and then I saw still too small. So I just kept going. But that's what makes it so interesting. So just look at that. Ugh, man, look at that one. If I use that one, there's a little bit of blue on as well. And if I use that with that, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So yes, I am definitely going to use parts of this to cover one, because as I said, I love this. I love the feel. The only thing with this is I've got 2 little white clean papers in. But once again, now you can add little books. I mean, you can really make little books with only the white paper, and you can put them in little sleeves. Whatever blows your hair back, you can now do in this book. So that is what I must say. I didn't know that, but that is what I love. I love to write as well, but doing it in a thing like this just makes the whole experience, I don't know, magical. Compare writing in this and working in this and making a little book. Let's say I now make a little book. Really, you just take ordinary white pages. I'm gonna do it. I mean, I'm just thinking about it. I am not a specialist in bookmaking. I really just go with the flow. But this is just an idea that I now have. So I just cut this. Okay, so let's just cut this little piece. Once again, it's now too thick, so I'll have to go with this paper. So there you can see a little book. So I now just put them together. I've got a little book that I can write in, and that I can now add in a pocket. I did have a kind of pocket somewhere, but I can very easily create one. There at the back, I even made a pocket with the cloth. So there I put my little book in. So I don't have to only have white clean paper in a book to have it. It doesn't have to look like this. All my signatures to be a journal that I can write in. It can still be like this. And as I said, I'm learning. I didn't know that. I had no idea I'm going to love this so much, because now I've also thought, okay, let's say we go on a trip and I take a pure white one like this. It's not going to be the same, because I would want to put things in it. I would want to work on it, add things, leaves, flowers, whatever. So that's what I thought. That's what I've realized while I was talking. Make my journals you know, like this. And then I just add little books inside it. You know, you get so many of these small little books that you can buy. Sometimes at the charity shops, there are many of them. They've got the little lines in as well. Buy them. Just, you know, with this, what I can do is really to just make it a little bit more beautiful. As I said, I've got my one little stamp. I don't have many. Yet I only have one. And what I'm also doing, I am not going into the usual shops to buy more art supplies. I'm now not talking when I'm now doing a big painting and I need acrylic paint or something. I'm now talking about these journals that I create in my little cloth scrolls and stuff. I force myself to use what I have and what I find for next to nothing at the charity shops. As I said, I found this. And now I'm going to use this. So once again, even for my little books and my little things, I'm going to use what I have. So now I don't know where okay, there it is. I'm just thinking, so this is my little book, so I can really just, it's a little bit big, so okay, it doesn't want to go through my stamp, but I can make 2 little holes, 3, 4 little holes, and make it beautiful. I can even make my little book beautiful, and then add it to add in. So now when let's say I journal, I write something in my book, I place it into my beautiful journal, and tomorrow evening when I listen to a podcast or whatever and things speak to me or whatever, I want to write a little sentence or a poem or whatever, I just take it out, but I work in this. And I feel this, and I touch this, and I see this, and it's just magical to me. Yes, I get very excited about this. As I said, 2 months ago, I didn't even know about journaling. I didn't know I'm going to love working in my journals. So that's why I am also calling them gratitude journals. This to me is not junk. This to me is absolute blessing. So, as I said, I put this in my bag when we go out or on a trip, and I work in this and I take it out. I cannot tell you, people that see me working in this, they'll come and ask, what is this? And then I'll show you them. And then I share the joy, you know. Because many people will tell me, but I don't have time for art. You know, I don't have time to go and sit and do a painting. Or I don't have the money to buy all the art supplies. You don't need any. You really need very little money to start creating your own type of art. This is an artwork. I mean, I showed you my other book. It's now there at the back that I've been working on, my journal that is this thick now. It's becoming a work of art, and every day I just do something creative that allows me to become still, be still and know all is well. It makes me just present to enjoy the gift of life, you know. So this is why I am sharing these things. I am sharing this to ordinary people, you know, like me. It's even if you are a poet that writes the most beautiful poetry, or an artist that makes the most beautiful large paintings, I would say you still need to have your little journal, your sketchbook, your things, and to just write and work in them. And through working in them, you will get what you need to do the rest of your things. I mean, after I made a video like this and after I sat here creating something, I've got the energy, the power, the excitement, whatever I need to go and do my other stuff that I need to do. So, but now we've grew up and we've learned and we know, and they told us, no, first do what you need to do. You know, there's things that you need to do. And then if you have time, you go and create something. You're too tired. I mean, you're overwhelmed, you're tired, you had enough, you're fed up. There's no ways that you want to go and create. But when you go from the other side and you realized, wow, I need this in order to go and do what I am supposed to do, your whole life changes. As I said, my life has changed. So, and that's why I share these things. And your journals or your gratitude journals or whatever you call it is not going to look like mine. It's going to look like you. And you are going to enjoy working in them and filling them up. And they're going to do what needs to be done in you. So that's why I say, I share all of these things. They may look so, I don't want to say stupid or childish or whatever, but this is vitally important. If you want to start enjoying the life that is in you and you want to start becoming more present, loving life again. How many of us know what we like, love our lives? I didn't. I was bored with my life. I was scared. I was fed up, call it, and I was that. And then I started slowly but surely to create. First I was working in my garden, and then I started with acrylic art, and slowly but surely I became more present and I started to enjoy my ordinary daily life more and more. So I'm so glad, because my daughter-in-law, she started playing the piano. A friend of mine now started playing the piano. Another friend of mine started to really do some sketching. Some are in their 70s, some of my friends. And they are now also starting to create, starting to become still, present, starting to enjoy life. And the life can only be found in us. It's nowhere else. And if you want to enjoy life, you got to become still. I am absolutely in love with this little one, with my things. It's just gorgeous. So now I have another, you will now know what I'm going to do on this beautiful day. Now, why is this beautiful? Because I love what I'm doing. That is why it's beautiful. So I am going to start creating my next gratitude journal, Open Spine gratitude journal. I also bought these on one of my charity shop. Oh, I don't know where the opening is. This whole thing, it was also, I think it was 10 rand. And when I saw the idea of the open spine and I saw this, I just knew this is it. This is it. I absolutely love it. So can you imagine a large one? I have no idea what I'm going to do for the outside. I have absolutely no idea. But I know I am going to put I'm 99% sure I'm going to put the beads there. And it's going to be a big one and a thick one. And many, many hours of joy are going to go inside creating my next, that one. But as I said, this little one, I'm going to make another one using this. Thank you that I can share my journey with you. Love you lots. Thank you for all my new subscribers and likes and mostly the comments. I absolutely love hearing from you. And as I said, I cannot tell you where my creative journey is going. I have absolutely no idea. I just share what makes me excited. I'm learning to follow my excitement and do the things that feed that excitement the most, because that is what makes my day wonderful and beautiful and happy. You create your own happiness. How do you do it? By doing things that makes you happy. It's as easy as that. If you want peace, do things that makes you peaceful. That is how you're going to experience peace. But we think outside things. The world there must be peaceful. Wars and things must stop, and all the news, the things that we hear over the news, and that must stop, and then we will be peaceful. It doesn't work like that. Peace comes from the inside. Peace comes from you. If you want a peaceful life, like a joyful life, you need to start doing things that makes you peaceful. Put off the news. Don't watch the news. Don't listen to doom and gloom stories and things. Do things that make you peaceful. The same with joyful. Love you lots. Is it from Zetster's Lab? And if I can, you can. I mean, I've started, I didn't have anything to really use. I've made so many journals at this stage, and I just started off, and I'm still doing it the same way. Use what you have. So when I go to the charity shops, I find things that makes me excited. Buy them if they are next to nothing. And then I come and then I create, and that my creative juices, I mean, I'm in that charity shops and I am so excited. As I said, when I saw this, I immediately think, oh, what am I going to do with that? Where I'm going to use it? And old books that I buy, everything. Like the one, my new friend at the charity shop, she's now keeping. She kept this book for me. She said, I'm sure you're going to be able to use this book. So music sheets, whatever. I use what I have, and that is what makes my creative journey to me so much more exciting. You know, the excitement comes with what can I use. I now saw that I just wanted to add a leaf onto my slow stitching, my journal outside, because I love nature, I love leaves, so I just add it. I add that thing because I just love it, and it really speaks to me. My friend's mother, she most probably created it, and she was so happy creating it, so now I am happy. I'm looking at it. I am appreciating it day by day until this book is full to the brim, and I put it somewhere where I can still see it, go through it, whatever, and then I start my new one. So what an awesome journey. Your life, your responsibility, your happiness, your creative journey, your responsibility. But Find out what makes you joyful and peaceful and do more of that. And that's how you create a joyful, peaceful life. Love you, is it from Sister's Lip.